Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So it seems like every week we get a new story about planes messing up in the United States. A while back, I think maybe a month or two ago, we had that story about the Boeing jet that lost the door mid-flight, or the door plug, I should say, whatever they want to call it, but big hole in the plane while they had taken off. More recently, of course, you had that engine blow up while they were in flight, and of course they landed, no issues. The tire that fell off when that plane was taking off and crushed a few people's cars. But again, no injuries, just lots of damage that happened. And I think the one I saw a few days ago was they landed and the landing gear just collapsed underneath them. It looks like they passed out after a hard day at work, just flat on the tarmac. But again, that was horrible, but nobody was injured. It was just a lot of damage to the plane. And a lot of this can be blamed, honestly, on Boeing. These are all Boeing 747s, and anybody who's a little bit in the know with the plane world will tell you these have been in commercial use for maybe 8 or 9 years now, and they've been complained about for 10. It's not a good plane. It's poorly designed. It's made with profits in mind, and Boeing definitely only cares about making money. They sell these planes to various airlines and stuff like that, and then they'll shift the blame onto them, saying that maintenance isn't being done properly. And they can kind of get away with that too. Personally, I think we should have some more overhead and oversight onto planes, just like I would with any sort of infrastructure regarding transporting people around. Moving people is an amazing feat that we have with our technology, and I want it to be as safe as possible for you and me. Now, this blame, though, as much as it is Boeing's fault, its technical failures, it's being shifted onto the wrong place right now. Because, the culture war has told these people that diversity is their greatest foe, and that because you have a pilot who doesn't look like an 80s action star, that means they can't fly your plane. That was the post I saw yesterday. This ex-congressional candidate that had to drop out. She made this post about your silver-haired maverick pilot is retiring and this is who's taking their place. Notice anything wrong? And it's just this 30-second clip of this black lady taking off, And I personally have never driven a small plane myself. Played a lot of flight sims and all that, but it's not exactly the same thing. I'm not trying to compare that at all, but I couldn't see anything wrong. Everything seemed like it went fine. There wasn't any weird noises. Maybe she was a little stiff, but it's like, I get nervous driving my car, and I've had my license for, I don't know, 10 years now, and probably have driven less than 1,500 hours behind the wheel. And that's the minimum you need to be a certified pilot in the United States, by the way. There isn't any shortcut to get those 1,500 hours. You don't get less because you're a woman. You don't get less because you're not white. They want you to fly a lot because you're responsible for dozens, hundreds of people all at the same time. We want good pilots, but the problem is the airline industry isn't exactly the most friendly to its workers. They don't get paid well. I remember this getting into my feeds with stewardesses. They don't get paid until the plane is actually flying, once the doors are shut. And they're working that whole time, guiding people to seats, working that little gate to pull people in with tickets and all that. And I feel like financial compensation would improve a lot of people wanting to work jobs. If you think that the less qualified people are working these jobs, maybe we could fix that by making these jobs more insightful for people. That way, the best qualified people get the jobs. Now, I don't think that anybody who's flying a plane isn't capable of doing it. I understand that the FAA is one of the most strict government agencies we have, and the way that they test these pilots to make sure that they're capable of flying you from place to place, they don't care about diversity in the plane. They want you to do the job. Like everybody in your life, they shouldn't care about what you look like or where you came from, just your qualifications and your certifications. That's normally enough for people. So if you see anybody complaining about this DEI in the sky, this bias baiting posting that they like to do, I don't know. Just ask them to clarify what they mean. Tell them to use their own words, not any of these buzzwords that they've heard. Because most of the time they're just going to reveal themselves as racist or sexist. And maybe they're really cool with that. Who knows? But I think they should be shamed for it. And it's up to us to do that. But, you know, until the next time a Boeing plane has a mechanical failure, y'all try to have a good day.